I will go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to our Sunday night team call. My name is Ashley. If you don't know me, I've been a coach for about 3.5 years now. And tonight I had planned on doing a different call. And then last week I found myself like kind of in the summer slump, and I was going through all of my computer and looking at some old things, and I found this call that I did for my team a few months ago, and I just thought that it was not only perfect for me and what I needed to see, but I think it's perfect for everybody else also. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a little presentation. Okay, this works. So this is basically my top 15 tips that I have for all coaches. And all of these tips, when I was looking over them today again, is something that I have gone through or I've made a mistake with doing. And I think it's important for all of us to pay attention to these things. So my first tip is to know your why. You need to dig deep. I know you hear this all the time, but you really need to dig deep and find out why you're doing this business. You need to find something that is going to push you and get you there to do the do every single day, no matter what, no matter how you feel. When you just want to say, screw it, I'm done, what is that thing that is going to keep pushing you? You need to write it down, maybe even make a video of it and share it with everybody. I know in my Coach Basics, that's the first thing we do the first week is to dig into your why and share it with everybody. Because the more you start digging and the more you start talking, writing it down, the deeper it'll get, and you'll be able to find that why that'll push you through. I know for me, I journal every morning, and part of that is writing my why out because it sets my intention for the day and it reminds me, of the reasons that I'm doing this business. So that's number one. Number two is have a vision, create a vision. If you haven't done this before, write a letter to yourself, do a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5 year, and just let go of all of the hows and just write everything out. Write what you want your life to look like. Write what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like. Just put as much detail into that as you can. And again, don't put any limits on that. Just let it go. For instance, since the beginning of this year, I've been writing down every single day that, it's July 2015 and I am walking across stage at Summit, and I wrote that out every single day. And guess what? Now that's going to happen. So now I have to create a new vision for myself and keep going. So you need to just put it out there, write about it often, talk about it like it's happening. I usually write out my goals daily. I used to do 10. Right now, it just depends, but just start journaling. You will be amazed at what happens when you start putting stuff out into the universe and you start, it's kind of like a switch in your brain goes off and it's like, okay, yes, I can do this. And this is what's going to happen. So the third thing is make a daily success goal every single day. So we talk about having a monthly, no matter what goal. Like for instance, your success club should be, Success Club 5 should be your no matter what goal every single month. Well, break that down and have a no matter what goal for every day. So the number of invites you're going to send out, the number of new contacts, the number of new follow-ups you're going to do. Set the intention at the beginning of the day. If you're just wanting to say, if you wake up and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I have to get my 5 invites in, my 5 new contacts and my 5 follow-ups, no matter what, before I go to bed, that will happen. And then at the end of the day, create an I did list. This was huge for me because I would go through the day. I mean, I have total ADD, so I'm like all over the place, shiny object syndrome, and I would be running around and feel like I did nothing until I would stop and reflect and actually, saw what I did. So at the end of the day, just sit down, write it down, see what you actually did, and it's going to make you feel better. And then set your intentions for the next day. That's what I like to do. I usually create my I did list before my kids come home. Well, when it's not summer. And then I will set an intention for the next day. So tomorrow I'm going to do, 10 invites or 10 new contacts or whatever it'll be. So that'll be sitting there for me in the morning, and I can just tackle it right away. Get focused. So this one was difficult for me also. I want you to think about all the roles that you play in your life, and I want you to pick the top 4 roles of right now. So for instance, for me, those top 4 roles are: I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a coach, and I am an office manager for my husband's company. Right now, those are my top 4 priorities. Yes, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I'm a friend. I have a million other roles, but those are not my priority right now. And sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit to get ahead and get to where you want to be, so that you can maybe, move those roles around and be able to be a better daughter, a better, sister, friend. But the one thing that I do is I tell those people that these are my priorities. It's not that
Willin.
If you could just mute yourself when you're jumping on, because I can't mute when I'm in a screen share. Thank you. So I tell those people that this is my priority right now, and this is what I'm focused on. So I might not be able to talk to you on the phone every single day, or I might not be able to do that coffee date with you because this is my priority. But, I will make time for you. I did this exercise in one of my Push to Diamond groups, and it was really hard for a lot of people because you feel obligated to have all these other roles. And really, you need to step back and just figure out what your priorities are and just get laser focused on that. Also, with getting focused, find the best time that works for you, the best time to do your power hour. I know for me that the best time for me is from 9 to 11. Nobody's at my house. There are no distractions. And I understand that everybody has different schedules and things, but you can find a time where you can get in your power hour. That's from 9 to 11 is when I'm super focused and I can just sit down and get it done. There's nobody at my house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I know I'm not focused then. So I'm not going to schedule my power hour then. You have to find out what works for you, play around with it, and you will know when you're in that groove and you are super laser focused that that's the time you need to do that. The next thing is be a student every day. This is huge for me because for a long time I was learning, but I was never doing. So not only do you need to learn, but you also need to get out there and do it. So, if you learn something from this call, after we're done, if it takes 5 minutes, go do something, like put it into place so that you don't forget it. And when I started doing this is when my business started growing. I was learning, but I was not doing. Also, remember that you never stop learning, and things are always changing, which is a good thing. I know that like in our society, change is like, oh no, we don't want this, but it is a good thing because it moves us forward. And you're going to be learning every day. There's never going to be a time in your business like you never really like arrive. You want to just keep learning. Just because I made one star doesn't mean I know everything. I learn every day. I watch training videos. I figure out what's going to work for my Facebook. You just have to constantly be learning. I heard this quote at a training I was at a couple months ago. Leaders don't become leaders because they knew it all, but because they didn't know it all. So the next thing is you are the CEO of your business. This is a good thing and it is a bad thing because you are the only person that can do it. We can sit here and teach you guys everything. We can give you all of the systems and have the perfect trainings, but if you don't do anything with it, then it's going to go nowhere. Nobody can do this for you. And that was something that took me a long time to learn because I just was expecting somebody to step up and do it for me. And when I realized that this is my business, and if I want it and I have that why deep down inside, I have to do it. So in January is when I started doing my own sneak peeks. And did I know what I was doing at first? Heck no. It says fake it before you make it, but I wish it said fake it before you become it, because that's really what it is. And I remember the first sneak peek that I did by myself. and the opportunity call, I was so nervous, but I sat there and watched, I think it was Melanie Mitro's opportunity call, or some other people's, and I watched it over and over and over again, and I basically just borrowed her self-confidence, or her confidence, and her energy, and the way she talked about the business. And if you were to go back and watch that, you'd probably think, oh my gosh, you sound exactly like her, because I sat there and I just, learned it. Now I have my own style, but I had to, fake it before I made it. So the other thing is, you don't want to just preach it. If you're bringing people on your team, in your challenge groups, or whatever it is, you need to be doing the do. Never stop doing the essentials. Never stop doing the 3 vital behaviors. Give yourself your own best advice. Sometimes you'll be talking to somebody and this happens to me sometimes. I'm telling one of my coaches to do something and I'm like, well, shit, sorry. Oops. I need to do that too, because I'm not doing it. So make sure that you are on top of yourself. And if you're going to tell somebody to do something, then you better be doing it also. And it's true for your challenge members too. I know that we get off track of following a workout calendar, but jump back on that. Follow that workout calendar and get it done, and show your challenge members that you're doing it too. So this is a big one for me. Sorry, I need to take a drink. But haters are going to hate. For a long time, this is something that held me back in my business. I would say probably for 2 years. Because I was so focused on what everybody else was thinking, what everybody else was doing, what everybody else was saying. You don't want to be that victim. Don't get sucked into the drama. I didn't necessarily respond to any of the drama or whatever, but I was so wrapped around it, I couldn't go anywhere. And there's going to be people in your life that are just not comfortable with you making a change to better your life, whether it be, your weight loss, or trying, or, with your business. I always say there's 3 types of people that are around when you make a change or when you jump into something new. And there's the people that will support you from day one. It doesn't matter. They're going to be there for you. There are the people that are going to kind of hesitate a little bit. And most of the time, this is your warm market, or your closest people around you. They're going to be like, what the heck are you doing? They don't get it. And maybe they're making fun of you. That's just how my family is. We always joke around. So there was a lot of that at the beginning, but then they come around and they support you and they jump in and they're, doing your challenge groups and stuff. And then there's the people that will never get it and they'll never support you, but just move on. You don't need to, worry about those people. Focus on your own journey. Don't get wrapped up in, comparing yourself to other people. You are doing this for you, not for the people that are going to hate on you. So this is just really close to me because it was something that really was hard for me at the beginning. As soon as I found the unfollow button, and if you don't know what that is, you should go find it. You shouldn't be scrolling in your newsfeed anyways, but the unfollow button literally saved me because I didn't want to delete those people because they are kind of in my community, but I also didn't want to see what they were posting. So I just went and, unfollowed them and went on with my way. The next thing is surround yourself with doers. Even outside of Beachbody, you create your environment. So you want to create this positivity around you. If you are getting pulled down by so much negativity and whatever, you need to let that go. And I guess that goes along with what I said before about unfollowing or unfriending people, because it'll just bring you down and you do not want them to bring you down. Shalene Thompson just did an amazing podcast on this the other day. And she goes, you just have to let it go. And she's like, done. And God bless. Because that's just what it is. And once you realize that you have surrounded yourself with these amazing people, your life is going to change dramatically. And I had to do that a lot too with the people around me, and some of my family members I couldn't even be around because they were so negative. It's not like I told them, I just didn't spend as much time as I used to with them. All right. So be humble. This is hard for some people. Some people it's not. But when you need help, ask for it. We're all here to help you. Don't be afraid to post something in the group. We are, I consider everybody on our team a family, and I wouldn't feel bad or, wrong for asking any type of question in any of the groups that I'm in. You shouldn't either. Also, know your strengths and your limitations. You want to build off of your strengths. If you are trying to be like somebody else and it is a weakness of yours, it's not going to work out too well, and it's just going to frustrate you. For instance, like this slideshow is not the best, and that is not a strength of mine to make, some images or some pretty little thing. But if I would sit back and think that, and I would have never even just put it together because I would be so frustrated with it. Instead, I know that it's a weakness of mine, so this is what you guys get, and I'm okay with that. And I'll build off my strengths in other areas. If you are on Instagram and you're trying to do Instagram so hard and you just can't get it, and it's just like so frustrating, but you are a rock star at your Facebook, then use that because that is your strength. Build on your weakness eventually, but don't get so stressed out about your weaknesses that it just holds you back. And then the other thing is you will never arrive. So it happens to, I'm sure, all of us, but you get to Emerald and you're like, yes, I'm Emerald. It's so awesome. And you kind of just like let go for a little bit. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, this person's inactive. I have -2 Success Club points, whatever it is. Whatever rank you're going to get to, you never arrive. Don't ever feel that way. Always try to be better than you were yesterday. So recognize the people around you. Not only recognize your coaches, your clients, your challenge members, but also your fellow coaches, and celebrate everybody's success. I think that, like I said before, we are a family. And if you're not comparing yourself to others, then you will have no problem celebrating people's success. I can remember last week or the week before when Nicole went diamond, and she texted me this little diamond, and I was so excited for her because I feel like, we should celebrate everybody, and I want to be celebrated when I do something good, and so does everybody else. So don't not celebrate them because you are envious of them or something like that. Post on your Facebook fan pages about what your challenge members are doing, if they'll allow you to do that, what your coaches are doing. People love to be recognized. So don't take that, don't underestimate that at all. The next thing is embrace your failures. This was something that, again, I took in full force in January. I just said, if I fail, I'm going to get back up, I'm going to do it again, and we're going to, see what happens next time. And I never understood when people is like, oh, I love to fail. I'd be like, yeah, what the hell are you talking about? Nobody likes to fail, But now I get it. So I'm going to be one of those people saying, learn to love it, because you'll know that when you're failing and you're like, okay, this isn't working, I need to go either back to what I was doing, or I need to try something new. So learn to love it, because it's the only thing that's going to keep pushing you forward. Like if you post something and it doesn't work, try it again. There's been tons of times where I'll post something one day and there's crickets, and I'll post it the next day at a different time, and it's like 50 people respond to it. You just have to be okay with not succeeding 100% of the time. You can only get better if you keep moving forward. So have integrity in everything you do. This is huge, especially for our team, because I know that all of us on here are super, like, this is huge for our team. So people are always watching you. You need to watch what you're posting on Facebook. You need to watch what you're commenting on people. I have my slip up sometimes too, where you just kind of want to be like, oh my gosh, I want to, kill this person or say something to this person, but you can't. You cannot do that. Leanne did a video on figuring out if this person is working with a coach, who the coach is they're working with. Don't just be going around and stealing other people's clients because you can switch them over. That's not okay. No coach or client is worth it, because they want to trust you. They want to respect you. And if you are doing something shady, then that's not going to happen. You just need to be real. And if you make a mistake, apologize about it. I can guarantee you that every person on here that has sold a challenge pack at one point has forgot to remind their client, that in a month that it's going to renew. I know that it happened to me a couple months ago to somebody that means a lot to me. And not that this made a difference, but I was so embarrassed and so it was so horrible that I forgot to remind her that this was going to happen. And she was, really angry. All I had to do was say sorry. I said sorry. I wrote her a note. I think I sent her something little. And after that, it was fine, because people want to know that we're human. If we make a mistake, it's okay. Just say sorry and move on and get over it. Okay, work with the willing. This is also something that I had to learn along the way, because I was going round and round with the same people. You cannot change somebody. You cannot make anybody do something. You can't make somebody lose weight. You can't make somebody work their business. And you have to give to the people that are willing to work with you. If you are just chasing, following up with the same people over and over and over, and they're just like, I don't want to talk to this person anymore, and you're getting frustrated because they're telling you, yeah, maybe, and move on to the next people. Let them go for a little while. They will come back, or they won't. Either way, you are going to be okay. Always be adding new people to your network. That way, you don't have to worry about going round and round. You definitely would rather have quality coaches and clients than you would have more quantity. And I think at a point in time, everybody kind of gets sucked up in that too, where, they're like, oh, I want more, 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 and more. But when you find that you get those quality coaches, or I call them my never give up coaches that I know are in it forever and they're never going to go away, those are the people you want. And those are the people you want to be surrounded with anyways in life. So go for the quality, not the quantity. So keep a list is my next tip. And this also was something that came to me at the beginning of this year. I finally realized that I was going round and round and round with the same people. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing? So why don't I take my leader's advice and start tracking who I'm talking to, start tracking what I'm doing every day. And when I did that, I realized, I was thinking that I was doing all these invites and adding all these new people to my contact list. But in reality, I was following up with the same 10 people over and over, and it was getting me nowhere. So from then on, I always keep a list and track who I'm talking to. I used to do it in a notebook, but now I do it on Evernote. You just find what works for you, because there is no answer. And I used to I shouldn't say hate, but I used to get so frustrated when people would say that to me, because I'm like, no, show me how to keep this list. I need to know how to make this list. But what works for me isn't going to work for you. And what works for you isn't going to work for me. So you need to find what works for you. I use Evernote. I'm able to create different notebooks in there and have the people I'm talking to about coaching, the people I'm talking to about my free clean eating group, and then my regular challenge group. And I can just move those people around or set them to the next month. But every day I make sure that I write down all of the new people I friend request, all of the people I follow up with, all of the new people I invite. This is so awesome to be able to go back. I think it was last week, I was able to go back to January to people I invited to my challenge group and start talking to them again. Because once you start doing a lot of invites, your Facebook Messenger is not very easy to use because it's not really organized. And having to go back through all of that, you don't want to miss anybody. So definitely start keeping a list and tracking what you're doing. And that is the end. I will unshare this. Oh, I did good. I just want to give all of those tips to you guys, because I feel like it was a good time to do it. Like I said, everybody's kind of in their summer slump, and we need to just get back to what we know. Maybe not everybody's in a summer slump. I shouldn't say that, because a lot of you are rocking it. But I know for me that I was, and I needed to like go back and read those slides. I sat there and read them for a while and reminded myself what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I hope you all enjoyed it. And if anybody has any questions or wants to say anything, we have a few more minutes.
I will. This is Nicole. Because I got a girl crush. That was an awesome call, Ashley. I have a lot of things circled, but the number one thing that I circled is you are the CEO of your business. And that was a really big turning point for me. I was like, Rhonda can't do it for me. Why am I not going anywhere? Oh, so good call. Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember having that conversation with you on the phone. I just told her, she's like, I just don't know. I'm like, just do it. I was like channeling my inner Rhonda. Just do it, Nicole. And she did. Anybody else? All right. Well, I will let you guys all go. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for jumping on. I know everyone is probably having a lot of fun this weekend. So, all right. Talk to you guys later and see you all soon.